Hello and good morning. Happy Friday. Yes, we are here. Weekend. Well, I still have 8 hours of work to do. So the weekend is not quite here for me. And I've got a lot of shipments. So I will be like buried in shipments. Passover is this weekend. So family dinner at the in-laws. So busy weekend coming up for me. Had a couple things I wanted to touch on today. Good morning, Zach. Zach, I got your package yesterday. I texted you. Well, we were texting back and forth. Have not opened it. I've got a pile like the last 2 weeks of packages. What's up, George? The last 2 weeks of packages are sitting, and probably next week I'll get caught up and get an updated count. So I'm at like my current count is 569,800 or so. But I've got probably 6 or 7 packages. So probably another, I don't know, 1,000 cards maybe. I did talk to my buddy David, who I got 30,000 Cubs cards from 2 months ago or so. He's got 50,000. So we're going to meet up in June. So that'll be another 50,000 and some other big trades in the works. So that's kind of what I've been focusing on for this year. I'm focusing on eBay, the eBay store, and sales, and then trades or secondary, and then just trying to work on the big bulk trades. Brad and Herman, what's up? Good morning, guys. So I was pricked last night. I got my COVID shot. I had to drive. The nearest appointment that I could get was in Janesville, which is it's about 40 minutes from where I'm at, but it was at a college which is like south of the city, which was further south than I thought, almost to Beloit. So it's almost an hour drive for me, because I ended up taking back. We had a big accident on like our main, it's called the Belt Line. So we had a big accident that was shutting down lanes. And then the interstate's always under construction. So I love taking back roads. I scheduled the appointment to where I could take the back roads and still get there with time. I actually got there early, and man, it was super smooth. I don't know. I think Brad's been pricked. I don't know who else has, but I was very impressed with how organized it was. I walk in, somebody checks you in. Almost like a host, and he takes your temperature, and then he like escorts you to the pre-check. And so the pre-check, they ask you like 5 questions, give you some paperwork to fill out. It's like 3 lines you have to fill out. You go sit down, and George says he's a prick. Sit down, fill it out, sign, and then you walk it over to another table, like another check-in, and they like give you a card, and it's like took me 3 seconds. And then like a nurse comes up, escorts you back to the shot room, and asks you a couple questions. Which arm? It's over. And nurse escorts you to another check-in station, and she gives you your second appointment date. And then you walk around the corner, check into another desk, and you hand over your paperwork, and you sit down for 15 minutes. And when your 15 minutes is up, you're out the door. Boom. So my appointment was like 6 p.m. My shot was in my arm at 5:53, and I was out the door at 6:08. So super smooth. I've had a couple, like, I don't know, side effects, I guess. And this is my first shot. So I think you got yours in your arm. Yeah. And speaking of the arm, normally I don't have arm pain after a shot. Like the flu shot doesn't give me any arm pain, but man, this one, and I think the problem was normally like any shots I get are like here at my local clinic or at Walgreens for a flu shot, and it's like 10-minute drive, and I'm moving around. this is how I walk. I'm moving the arm around, and so I think that helps. But dang, so I had like an hour drive, and your arm's just sitting there. You're not doing that. So my arm's sitting there for an hour, and my arm, I did not sleep well last night because my arm hurt so bad, and I'd like lean over. It's like, oh, I'd wake up, and I'm a little congested, but I don't know if that's allergies. I have bad allergies, so I don't know. And my wife's experiencing some allergies. Um, so I don't know if that's shock, because it was like almost not instant, but I mean it was like pretty close to the time. So I don't know if it's like an actual side effect or if it's just my seasonal allergies springing up, pun intended. So Brad said I was sore for a few days, but that was it. So yeah, that's the biggest side effect I have is the sore arm. And Zach says my arm hurt to the touch after the first shot, 48 hours. Yeah. So my arm did not hurt until I didn't have any arm pain for a few hours. Because this is a story. I may have to save this story for tomorrow. Because it's adventures with my mother-in-law. So I have some stuff to do for her this weekend. And so she texted me last night, like, how is your arm? How are you feeling? And it's like, oh, my arm's fine. My arm's fine. Moving around. I'm fine. And then like almost instantly after that, it's like, oh, my arm's kind of sore. And then all of a sudden, like, as I'm getting ready for bed, it's like, I can hardly move my arm. So maybe that text like, oh crap, I have to do heavy lifting this weekend. My arm hurts now. So I'll save that story for another day, probably tomorrow morning. We'll see if we do the moving today. Because it's just classic misadventures with the mother-in-law. Classic move. And I predicted what's happening this weekend. I predicted a few days ago when we went through and just everything. It's like, oh, of course, this is all going to happen. So nothing major, just a laugh it off thing. So I'll share that story tomorrow. I'll have to write that on the whiteboard. So today I wanted to talk about communication. What inspired this topic was somebody had tweeted out yesterday about receiving. They bought 2 cards from the same seller on eBay. They paid shipping on each item, but it was shipped in the same package, and they wanted to leave immediate negative feedback. So I have many issues with this whole scenario. So the first issue is communication, which I'll dive deeper into in a moment. But this can actually happen. This happened to me frequently, and this is one of the main reasons why I just do free shipping across the board. Unless I do a 99-cent auction on, like, say, something that's going to cost $5 or $10 to ship, then I want to make sure I'm covered at least for the postage. If it sells for 99 cents, I don't care, but I don't want to lose $10 on the actual postage. So this is why I've gone away from, like in my eBay store, I just do free shipping across the board. I could probably figure out now that I'm so involved with the eBay store and the different things, but it's a little difficult to set up combined shipping. And I tried it a few times, like back in the day, and it never worked. And I would have people like buy 7 items and the shipping showing like $26. So they would reach out and, say, hey, can you combine shipping? A couple people would pay like instantly, not realizing they're overpaying on shipping. And I would catch it. Either they would catch it or I would catch it, and I would make it right. Very difficult. Brad says, yes, it's a real pain. So there's no easy method for it. So like what I've always done, and I still do shipping, like I mentioned, on 99-cent auctions on occasion, where I want to make sure the postage is covered just in case it only sells for 99 cents. Is that, most buyers will just let it sit. Like if there's 3 items and the shipping's $10 for 3 cards, they won't pay. And usually there's no communication on either side. I'll just immediately see, this person bought 3 cards. I'm going to revise the invoice. And you just go in, revise, and then you just erase the $10 shipping and go to $4 or whatever you want to charge for the shipping. And there's like, it requires no communication because it's being done. Now, in this case where this person, they just, and another thing, do they actually combine shipping? I always make sure, especially if I'm buying, I was buying wrestling magazines, a few months ago, and I would always reach out, and especially on auctions, hey, are you going to combine shipping if I buy 10 of these? Because I don't want to pay $50 in shipping on 10 magazines. Okay. So I always make sure if it's not in the item description, or if it's not stated, I'll reach out. Hey, do you combine shipping? So the buyer should have first either asked or read the item description. Does this seller, because some sellers don't, it's not good business, but they don't. And if a buyer doesn't, take that step to ask, and remember, you're buying these items. So this person bought these 2 cards with these 2 shipping prices. They confirmed to pay X amount plus shipping plus X amount plus shipping, regardless of if they come in 1 or 2 packages. So the buyer should have been on the, on the offense there and made sure, hey, am I going to get, and not just assume the seller is going to combine it. So that's one of the main reasons. Did you communicate with the seller after the fact? Okay, you paid $4 shipping for this card, $4 shipping for this card. They came in the same package. You're probably upset. You paid $8 for shipping and it came in a $3 package or a $4 package. They didn't take anything off the shipping price. Did you contact them? So this buyer did zero communication with this seller and wants to leave immediate negative feedback. Communicate. It's so key, because guess what? You paid right away. You didn't even give the seller a chance to combine the invoice. You just paid right away. Hey, I'm good. I paid $20 for these 2 cards. You have to take some responsibility in this situation. So he got a lot of feedback on his tweet, and he did reach out to the seller. Now, if the seller comes back and says, screw you, you paid, then do what you think is right. I hate leaving negative feedback unless absolutely warranted. I think in a situation like this, if I was the buyer, I'm taking responsibility for A, not asking if the seller combines shipping, B, not even waiting to wait for a combined invoice. But then you get to see, you communicate, and if it doesn't go your way, I don't know. It's for me as a buyer, and everybody's different. I don't care what the seller pays in shipping. I only care what I'm paying for the item. And if I want this Cubs card, if I want this Chris Bryant card, and I think it's a $5 value to me, and I spend $2 and pay $3 in shipping, and it comes in a stamped envelope, I don't care, because I value this card at $5. I'm paying $5 for this card. I'm not paying, I don't care what it comes in, as long as it gets to me safely and it's not damaged. Now, if it comes in a PWE, in a penny sleeve, and there's a big ding, then we have a problem. If it comes in a penny sleeve and it's fine, I'm probably going to reach out and say, hey, you need a top loader or a card saver. Fortunately, this card wasn't damaged, but this is what we got. I'm paying for the card, not the postage or shipping price. So I don't see the postage as an extra cost to me. I don't want it to, if I'm paying $4 in shipping, I'm not looking at the shipping cost. And if it comes wrapped in 7 bubble mailers, like a brick of gold from Fort Knox, or if it comes in a PWE and thin piece of cardboard. I don't care. I have a value attached to what I'm paying, and I don't care how it's shipped. Receive it in the condition that it was in when it was sent by the seller. Zach asks, are you going to flex about your money from your Topps Heritage box? So that's all that's all I have on that particular comment or on that particular topic. I'll talk about my Heritage box. I just wanted to touch on real quick the hybrid grading. So I have no skin in the game with hybrid grading. I don't grade. I do plan. I see SGC turnarounds are like 7 to 10 days right now, which is insane right now in this market. And I do have a bunch of pre-war Cubs cards that I want to send in to SGC just to get them slabbed. I only collect pre-war if they're slabbed authentic or graded, just because there's so many reprints and worked up cards that are made to look older than what they really are from a reprint. So I want to get those slabbed, and I will. SGC is like the number one for pre-war. So I at some point these cards are all over the place, so I don't know if I'll get to it. But hybrid grading approach is people love crapping on HGA. So here's why I want to crap on HGA. They come in and it's like, ooh, hey, new kid on the block. There's room. They saw an opportunity and they seized it, which is great. We could use another legitimate grading company. Okay. But I had a couple issues. I didn't like the tact they had on social media. It was, I don't like the way they communicated on social media, but it was no big thing. And I don't like the owner's cocky attitude. That's exactly what I have an issue with. Then they made some mistakes. Hey, PSA makes mistakes. Beckett makes mistakes. SGC, they all make mistakes. Okay. But when you come in with a cocky attitude and you're going to say, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, and you play off PSA's backlog and you're saying, well, we get it done in a tiny percent of the time. Well, guess what? You're not dealing with millions of submissions. You're dealing with hundreds, maybe thousands. Okay. So you're coming in trying to take on okay, but walk the walk. Okay. You surely can talk the talk, but let's start walking the walk. And they're not walking the walk. They're making mistake after mistake. There was another issue last night with using, I don't know if it's copyrighted material or intellectual property on a slab. They were called out. They kind of fought it. Now they're talking to their legal team. So I'm staying far away from, I don't grade. So, but I choose, they would be probably last on the list, above BCCG, maybe. I'd send it to them before BCCG. I don't know. I don't like their approach. And that was I was reading it. I think I was laying in bed and I was reading through the thread. It's like, holy moly. Brad says they did it to themselves. Yeah, they've dug themselves a hole and they continue to dig is what they're doing. Zach says that owner thinks he is walking around 24/7 telling KVO's intro song. Yeah, right. You should probably get familiar. So Zach and I were texting. Brad and I were chatting back and forth yesterday. So the Topps Heritage Blasters, man, was insane. So I pulled the Kyle Lewis Black. I got a purple hot box. I probably undersold the Aaron Judge purple. It sold within like 15 minutes on eBay. It sold for like $750. I put the Alec Baum rookie purple refractor on eBay for a $50 buy it now. It sold in less than an hour. The Kyle Lewis Black went on 24-hour auction. and the Tatis purple. I'm always concerned, and I brought that up yesterday. I'm a little concerned with the 24-hour auction, especially on a brand new product and hot players and cards. Are there going to be unscrupulous bidders just trying to fluff the market up? But it didn't happen. The Lewis sold for $72. Buyer paid almost right away. Tatis purple sold for $49. Buyer paid almost right away. I ended up selling. I pulled 2 relics, and I'm like, oh boy, these are going to be sitting in my trade pile forever. I'm like, I'm just going to put them up. It's a new product. I'll put them up for $750 shipped because they're going to go in a bubble mailer. Both of them sold. I've sold most of the rookies, $5 a pop. I was at, I think I counted it up while I was waiting after my shot, and it was $226 in gross sales. But I sold a bunch last night overnight. So I think it's probably in the $260 to $270 range in gross sales off $64 in blasters. So I think I just need to move on. I just need to enjoy this moment and move on, not find any more blasters in the wild if I would even get that lucky. I think Prism Basketball is supposed to be released today. I'm not sure. So I may just stay far away from Target. I may pop in after work today just to see if there's any Heritage blasters, or Donruss. I'd buy a Donruss blaster or 2. In fact, if I ran in and found a Donruss blaster, I'd probably just wait until opening day. Cause Donruss is a fun rip. It's not great for resale, but it's really fun with all the hits. So I would probably save that for opening day. Heck, I'd probably save, I don't know. I don't think I could save Heritage opening day's on Thursday. So could I wait 6 days? Maybe. I don't know. So I do have my pile of stuff to open for opening day. I've got the day off Thursday, so looking forward to that. I was kind of bummed last night. I forgot the new tournament schedule is now going Saturday. Is it going what? Friday? No, it's going Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I think. Is that right? The Sweet 16 doesn't start until tomorrow, which is kind of funky to me. But I guess you get used to it for so many years, and any change is gonna be wild. So George says, dude is like, I can't spend $1.5 million a month at the casino. I have 8 nannies for my 2 kids. Yeah, $8 for the relic is a good price. Yeah, and they were like, it was Brandon Belt and I think Colton Wong. So they were like crappy relics. So they were like bargain basement relics. Okay, Panini Prism Wednesday. Okay, so it'll be next week for retail. But I haven't been following that, so I don't know if retail's coming out on time. We're in a wacky time where it's like hobby releases on this date, retail's just going to come out whenever. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see some of the Heritage hobby breaks, which is out today. So that'll be fun. So that's all I had for today. That's it. So I may make a Target run later, like after work. But that's about it. I've got a lot of shipping to do, so we'll be handling that throughout the weekend as well. So Brad's coming up next. Check him out on the Texas Card Dude channel. I'm going to get that coffee brewing. Have a great Friday, and we'll talk tomorrow.